What's up, y'all? Bienvenidos. It's your girl Nia Williams, and I'm back with another video. And in today's video, I'm talking about the last chakra of the chakra healing series. Now, I might do like a part 2 series, which is kind of like I'll just continue the series but touch on different things that I didn't talk about before with certain chakras, but we'll see what happens. We'll see. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing that I want to touch on and talk about is literally the basic understanding of what the crown chakra is. It is the top part of the chakra alignment, which is the full enlightenment of experience, like the spiritual wisdom, the cosmic connection, the way that everybody is connected to each other in a certain way through our experiences and how we interact with each other and just how we relate to each other in as a collective, right? It's that collective consciousness, that divine guidance, or that most high or God or however you want to describe it or word it, but that is what the crown chakra is. It's that spiritual wisdom. It's that intellect that's beyond comprehension to some people. Another thing that this chakra represents is just basically that alignment, that inner alignment, when you are aligned with your morals, your values, the things that you talk about, the things that you actually experience and you're learning from them, and you get into this rhythm of constant evolution. And what I mean by evolution, I mean like we are constantly growing, we are constantly evolving into different ways, different vibrations of consciousness. So like we'll always end up getting some type of information that enlightens us and inspires us, and actually inspires us to change in a way where we actually do something different, right? So it's kind of like awakening that second heartbeat, is what Love Dorsey says in her videos. And she's like, it's that second heartbeat. Like there's a heart in here, but there's a heart inside the heart, and it's pumping that energy and flowing that energy into me so that I can wind up and keep going and keep moving and keep pushing forward in the things that I want to do, with that full alignment to my intuition to guide me through all of this shit. Like I have that full trust. That's why I titled this video like faith in your divine alignment, your unique alignment, is because of that reason right there. Everybody has their own vibration of consciousness that they're on and that they're learning through. So yeah, in a way we can all learn from each other, and in a way we all experience things with one another, and when the lessons are learned, when their reflection is being made, the integration is being done, the alchemy is being done, when all of those things are happening, it puts us in a different vibration. It puts us at a different level than when we were before, meaning like we have wisdom and spiritual knowledge that we take in and that we receive, and it inspires us to move in life differently. But there's always and I would say that there's a yin and yang to all of this, right? So, like I just mentioned, moving forward, making sure that you're in alignment with your morals, your values, just your beliefs, and everything that you stand for as an individual, who you are, and you're moving on that path. There's always the flip side of it. There's always going to be people who are not in that space, who are still learning how to get in that spaces. Those blockages are still there. There's still more things that need to be undone and disconnected and reconnected and rebooted and reprogrammed. Some things you gotta unlearn and relearn. You know what I'm saying? So when we get into that space like that, it's like these are the things how you like. This is how you know, like, okay, not everything is balanced out, and that is okay. Like, I'm not saying any of this to be like, oh, you can't be an imbalanced person, like, oh, you can't be imperfect. Like, no, that's what I'm not saying. Like, everybody has their role, everybody has their place. You are exactly who you're supposed to be for this season of your life right now, so that you can learn the lessons that you need to learn and evolve. Like, nobody is hating on anybody for their own unique spiritual alignment and their own unique journey. Like, everybody is authentic in their own way, and everybody's allowed to express that shit. So when you come to this full circle of realizing this, or if you haven't come to this full circle of realizing this, you would understand that the blockage in this chakra is really just that disconnect. Like, that disconnect with self. Back when I was talking about the throat chakra, like not being able to communicate with yourself the truth and where you stand and where you're at in your life and what's going on around you, you know, just that feeling like you don't deserve better because of the way that you attach yourself to certain things and certain people, and how you always get the shit end of the stick, or however you may feel about the situation. You might have low self-esteem, you know, all of these things pile up, right? And the more that these blockages pile up, you get that disconnect from self. Like that, you get that big distance from self. And a lot of people would say that, even people that I talk to at work and out in my community, they would say, you know, for a long time I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like, I just did whatever, you know, without actually getting an understanding for who I was. You know, a lot of people get into relationships and not know who they are, you know, and they keep going and they keep being in this relationship long term, and then right when they finish it, now they're figuring out who they are and doing what they love to do and all. You know, it's certain types of things that end up playing out for certain types of people, but it's just that disconnect from self that it weighs on people. And there's something that I watched earlier today by Love Dorsey, and she was saying how some people will get it, you know, they'll read the post, they'll take it in, they'll integrate with it, and they'll live by it, and it's easy for them to get it off the free knowledge that's out there in this world. And then there's some people where they actually gonna have to pay for the knowledge. And then she wasn't just talking about paying money. Yeah, go to a therapist and learn the same thing that the therapist was telling you, that the girl online was telling you too, like that type of thing too. Yeah, but also I seen it in a way where like people gonna have to pay in fucking, they gonna have to pay spiritually, they're gonna have to pay financially, they're gonna have to pay all the way around. Like, they're gonna have to go through some more experiences, they're gonna have to, you know, get their heart broken a couple times, get knocked upside the head. Like, people gonna have to go through what they have to go through in order to get to where they need to get to. And I said that in my heart chakra video, where people they implode on themselves and they crash down, and they are on their path to destruction, because that is what they need. Like, you need that release in it, but at the same time, if you're not self-aware enough, you won't reflect back on that and actually integrate with what you just did, and then heal from it, and then do the work, like all of that shit. But sometimes you need to go through that a couple more times, and then sometimes you got to lose people in the process in order to actually get it, you know. And that's just the unique journey that everybody has, you know. And another thing, another form of blockage is, you know, not being open-minded to other people's perspectives and just how the world works in general. Like, people are not out here with the same mindset that you have, the same lifestyle you have, the same background you have, the same relationship you have. Like, people are out here living different lives. Like, if you watched Everything Everywhere All at Once, like, everything that happens in this world is going on everywhere all at once. Everybody's living a different lifestyle, so you have to be open-minded to understanding somebody else's perspective and their spiritual wisdom that they gain on their journey. You know, whether you think that they're behind you or way ahead of you, it don't really matter, because we can all learn from each other in a certain way. And it's just getting comfortable in that space of asking questions, man. I think I said that in one of my videos too, where asking questions actually gets rid of all of the confusion that you have within or you have towards somebody else. Like, you have to be in that mature space to want to sit down and get an understanding. You know, a lot of people are not like that. You know, a lot of people get triggered very easily when they're in certain energies, or when they're just intimidated right off the bat and they don't want to open up in that way. And vulnerability is something that isn't common for them to do. So, you know, some people just need a little bit of extra work to get there, but overall, you know, me being in that space of being able to ask questions and have my mind opened up to different perspectives, it has brought in a lot of different knowledge from other people and perspectives where I'm like, "Whoo, dang, like I'm actually learning from you right now. Like you're telling me life experience, and I can actually learn from where you from what you went through and where you fucked up at and where you did good at and then where you did okay at. Like I can learn through you, and I can pick and choose what I don't want to do," right? If that makes sense. Like growing up, seeing the way that my family was something that I was like, I don't want a family like this. Even though we are all now, we can come together, we can have conversations, we can talk, we can be open with each other, we can be vulnerable with each other, we can be nurturing towards each other. At one point in time, it wasn't like that. And I tell you right now, everybody was biting somebody's head off. Going at somebody's head, going upside somebody's head because they said something or did something. So it's like, but I understood that just because this is where I came from doesn't mean that this is the life I have to live for the rest of my life. Like I don't have to live how they lived just because that's how they lived and it was a part of my family. Like no, I can actually choose differently. I can choose to do whatever I want to do, and taking accountability for your own actions and how you do things is also a part of that enlightenment, that, you know, being in alignment with your morals and your values, like actually taking accountability for what you don't want and then taking accountability for what you do want by really just knowing that you choose the people, the places, and the situations that you want to be in. And if you want different, you can choose different. And then once you have that, harness that inner power, like I said in my last video, then trusting in that, okay, because I know that I don't want to do this and I can choose differently and I can see the signs and I'm self-aware and I'm all this stuff and my communication with self is right, then what is stopping you from making better decisions? It's yourself, right? You know, it can also be fear. You know, it that's another blockage when it comes to that distance with your spiritual self or that soul or that inner heartbeat. Like that distance from yourself is also fear too. Like the fear of the unknown, fear of letting things go, like the fear of, oh, you know, this relationship could have been something, or I could have had this, or we could have been this. Like that dying hope. You know, you gotta grieve it and you gotta let it go and you gotta move forward, because, and I'm laughing because it sounds so easy to say, but the process is not. It's not. But the only way that you can actually speed it up is if you actually are self-aware in the decisions that you're making, and you're like, okay, because I was aware of what I was doing and what was going on, I really don't feel that hurt. Even though I'm still going to grieve this relationship, it's not stopping me from doing what I said I was going to do at the very beginning of this shit. Like, they did not have so much of an effect on my progress as I would have used to, it would have used to have, right? I said that right. Yeah, it wouldn't have much of an effect on you now than it would before. You know, when it comes to just getting in alignment with your morals and values and all of that, it's really just something that you have to sit with yourself and reflect on. Like, I recommend journaling and writing it down. I write things down a lot, or I will do my little voice memos, but I journal the things that are going through my mind, and I ask myself, what are some of the things that I see as valuable in my life, and what are the things that I don't. Like, what are the things that I would tolerate from certain people, and what are the things that I'm not going to tolerate, and actually understand like the difference between, okay, what brings me pain in my body and what brings me pleasure. And I think that's another chakra video that I want to make, because it really ties in with the sacral chakra and the solar plex chakra a little bit, and the heart chakra a little bit, because it's like it plays on that like flow of dopamine and that flow of ecstasy and just feeling pleasure out of experiences, not just out of the sex, but out of the conversation, out of the environment, and how you're able to be yourself and just be relaxed, and you're not tensed up, or your mind is not dissociated and going on this rabbit hole of if this person really likes you or not. Like, you read people's energy, you have that intact to the way it's like what's being communicated matches on all levels, and then you're able to make the decision that you need to make without having any fear of, oh, maybe I made the wrong mistake, you know, oh, maybe I made the wrong decision. Yeah, maybe I made the wrong decision, you know, because if you value what you say you value, and you move on those values, you won't ever make a mistake, because you're in alignment with your values. Your morals and your beliefs are a whole different thing, because your beliefs also tie in with the things that you're going to tolerate from people and relationships and situationships, family members, co-workers, all of those types of people, right? If you believe that, you know, family matters and family's all that you got or all that you need, then you're going to tolerate a lot of things from your family members. Now, you can still set boundaries and still be in that environment without compromising yourself, but you have to learn how to do the alchemy that is needed for you to get right with yourself. You know, it's not something that happens overnight. You know, it's not something that is quick and easy. The journey is continuous. It's endless. And like I said, it's all about evolution and evolving as you grow, as you get older. You know, learning what works for you and getting in alignment with that and moving on it with integrity. Integrity meaning what you say, what you do, and what you're about all aligns. It all aligns. That's what integrity means. Like, it all is in alignment with exactly what you wanted, and you don't have any fear that what you said or what you did was a mistake. You don't overthink it. You don't, none of that shit. You live with it. You sit with it and you make peace with it, right? And you move forward. It's not an easy thing to do, because, you know, some people gonna see you as fake or switchy, flip-flop or whatever. Damn, they're gonna call you a potato. They gonna call you a cat or a dog. I don't give a fuck what it is. They gonna call you something, alright? Whether you a watching ass watch, a hating ass bitch, or a jealous ass bitch, I don't care. They gonna call you whatever they gonna want to call you. It's okay. It's alright. They gonna say what they gonna say. Just move forward. Just move forward and keep doing what you're supposed to do. I would also say the key thing for me, before closing all of this out, the last thing I'm going to say is the key thing for me with this whole spiritual enlightenment with my crown chakra is that when you realize that you have the power to say no to certain things, and you have the power to say yes to things, and also pick and choose what you want to do, what you want to spend your time in, what you want to invest your money into, that is where you have taken control of your life and taken full accountability for how you turn out as an adult. It's a very regular theme to see that a lot of people have let their life go at this age, right? Or they have piled up a whole bunch of responsibility at this age, and I'm still on this journey of doing the things that I want to do. You know, a lot of people congratulate me on that, say I got a good head on my shoulder and all that stuff. But at the same time, to keep my head on my motherfucking shoulders is not an easy thing to do. Because it's all up here. It's all up here. It's all in the crown. To keep that alignment requires a lot of getting into checking my energy and balancing shit out so that I'm not on a vibration that is going to bring me so much fucking chaos, man. Keeping peace in your life is making sure that you always have your senses on. Because people can play with you right in your motherfucking face. And if you are not intact and you got that distance with self and you're not harnessing your power, you're not listening to that intuition, you're gonna miss some shit out. While y'all thinking the movies, every time in them scary ass motherfucking movies or in them shows where you can see that girl finna get her ass beat, killed, or some type of shit, and she ain't listening to herself. What was we watching? The Watergate Butcher or something like that. What was it? I don't fucking remember. But we was watching some serial killer that wore a mask and recorded all of his murders, right? And there was one particular girl that he captured, right? He captured her and he took her. And right before he took her, and he was recording her the whole time, like all the way up to where he kidnapped her, right? And right before he kidnapped her, he was recording her, and she was on the phone with somebody that she knew, somebody dear to her, and she was like, have you ever felt like somebody's watching you? I feel like something's gonna happen. Have you ever felt like somebody was watching you? I feel weird. I feel like something's gonna happen. You know, can you come over? And all this extra. I'm sitting here like, ain't no way you can be that disconnected with yourself to where yourself is telling you, bitch, you're in danger, and you're not listening to it. Meaning your reaction time to what is being told to you isn't quick enough for you to get out of that shit. She got snatched the fuck up and tortured for years. Fucked with her mentally to where when she got out, she ended up killing herself because she didn't know how to live without it. And that type of shit is what people fucking do. They go on their path to self-destruction and kill themselves because they don't know how to live without the chaos. They don't know how to live without the bullshit. So they say, fuck it. I'ma stay in this shit and I'ma die in this shit. Because this is what I like. This is who I am. This is what I'm going to do. So I'ma be in this shit. Fuck no. Hell no. If I was that girl, I would have been like, yo, yeah, somebody's watching. I'm gonna need to lock and close all the motherfucking doors, the windows. She wasn't doing none of that shit. I would have had something next to me, because if something's telling me, hey, you ain't safe here, all right, what am I supposed to do? I think I need to get up out of here. Yeah, and if I can't get up out of there, well, baby, I think I need to stand my ground, because I am not finna get got, okay? But to go off of that, I hope this message resonated with y'all, or at least it gave y'all some type of insight. I thank you all for joining me on this journey with the chakra healing series. Thank y'all for coming along with me on this chakra healing series. I do have some ideas for the next couple of chakra healing videos if I do choose to do them again. It's just all about the order that I choose to do them in, you know, getting everything organized and figuring out what I want to do next with my content. But thank you guys for watching and tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next one.